Alright, now let me quickly switch. Alright, looking good. Yeah. Well then. What should we do? Again, I can barely see things, to be honest. But hey. Or maybe I can try something like this. I know it doesn't work. Oh well. Okay, where are we anyway? I think we got some paint here or something.
I reached into the sack, but it was empty.
Right. Sure.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
That's why you need a workout, bro.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
Interesting.
I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone. It was weird. They fit perfectly. It was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Pegram's archaeology team.
Right.
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words, La Risée du Monde, Paris. It was a bright red plastic nose, part of a clown's costume.
Sure. Oh, makes sense.
I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone.
Should we use like a different statue or something? Is there a different statue anyway? What's this thing?
I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I tried in vain to move the panel.
I don't see anything else I can interact with. I think this should work. Huh?
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
Right.
I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement.
Well, like, why?
I smoothed...
But, like... Yeah, it also makes zero sense to me. Okay, Kaz, what's the story here? We're chasing after a mysterious killer. And meanwhile, we're also trying to get some Templar's treasure shit or something. And now we're in Ireland, trying to, I guess, solve the mystery. Can I drop the statue again? Can you drop it? No?
I smoothed the plaster.
Okay, I'm so confused.
I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Okay.
I tried in vain.
I still don't see the
I
logic
reached
here.
into the sack, but it was empty.
Right. Goat, you got any idea? I don't think this goat has any idea.
I tried.
Yeah, I am stuck. I have no idea. My initial thought was like to press the statue against this thing, but like it just doesn't work. My long overdue vacation Paris. This is the life, sitting in cafes, drinking coffee, enjoying the sunshine and the ladies. Whoa, the cafe just exploded. Exploded! A clown left a bomb in the accordion, killed a guy, and nearly killed me. I will bring that clown to justice once I get some hearing back in my ears. The police don't think I had anything to do with the explosion, which is a relief, but who was responsible? Met a very cute photojournalist called Nico Collar. She works for La Liberté, some kind of newspaper. She knew something about whoever planted the bomb, but wasn't giving much away. But she did give me her number. Ooh. My note got in the courtyard near the cafe. He saw a man running away after the bomb blast, wearing a jacket made of the same material I found in the sewers. He gave me the jacket away straight away. He gave me the jacket away straight away. But I've got the phone number of the trader who made it, of the tailor who made it. So I might have a lead. Okay, this gives me nothing. This is just the background. But I guess you might get a better picture of what the hell is going on now. Or maybe you're even more confused. Yeah, too bad, no game. That lady just wanted some info out of us. Seriously.
There was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Pegram's archaeology team.
Well, okay. Let's, I cannot interact with Goat. I don't see anything I can use here. Oh, I can go upstairs? Oh, I can go outside. Should I? I have a feeling this is where I'm supposed to be right now. I don't know. But hey, at least this guy has enough cognitive energy to worry about his hairstyle. I don't get it. I wanna. Any tips for Kaz? I think like, nah, I think like I should drop this here, but like there's no action to do that, which makes me very confused. This time watching him play this. Click on the statue again to stand it upright. Alright, I opened walkthrough. And I don't understand. This must be like one of those rare like cases where you fucking open a walkthrough of this thing and it makes no sense. Click on the statue again to stand it upright, which is what I did. Take some plaster of Paris from the bag on the table, which is what I did. Click on the statue and use the plaster of Paris on the impression the statue left in the ground. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, that's it? That's all I was supposed to do here? Okay, we didn't spoil anything, which was good news. But, like, why? Why? Why would you do this? Alright, let's go back to the pub. How was I supposed to know this? Hello, mate.
Hey, McGuire.
What?
I got some plaster for
Do you
you.
know what this white powder is?
No,
What does this tissue mean to you?
nothing.
Have you ever seen this man before?
What a slimy character. No, I never seed him.
See you later, kid.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to consult the walkthrough again, because I seriously have no idea. Hello? Yo, mate?
Hello again. What?
Oh, I can talk to him about a lot more
I
things.
think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid, McGuire.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
looking for Sean Fitzgerald. Have you seen him?
never heard of him.
Don't you come from around here?
None of your business. I didn't ask where you come from, did I?
I'm from California.
That's your problem.
Did you ever see Fitzgerald at Peagram's Dig?
I never heard of either of them.
If I was a woman, I wouldn't think much of a wire necklace.
It's not made for a woman. I've got my sights on tastier dishes than women. Flesh as smooth and tender as a maiden's. Bones as soft and white as a newborn babe's. Rabbit, lad. That's what gets my juices flowing.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Yo, bartender.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Hey, how about another drink?
See him again?
Hmm.
I'll serve anyone with manners. And money.
No, I'm serious. Have you considered turning McDevitt's into a cocktail bar? Cocktails are chic, cool, and popular with younger drinkers.
What? Kids in the bar? Can you imagine it? Pinball, pimples, and puke.
Right, I get the picture. I'll settle for a glass of stout.
I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my idea, is it?
Does this...
I'm not interested.
Look, I gotta be going. Hey! Hello there again, mister. Bye for now.
Seriously, what am I
He
supposed to
wasn't
do?
listening.
Oh, what's this? What's this oven-looking thing?
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
The wiring? What is this? I can barely see what this is.
I couldn't see anything.
What kind of machine? Well, makes sense it doesn't work.
Excuse me?
No customers behind the bar. Ever.
I could try to fix your glass washer.
Oh, no. Not unless you're a qualified electrician.
Ooh! What do you know, mate? I am a qualified electrician.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, now, isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedevilled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch the beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
But yesterday I told these guys that I'm a
And when
fucking
you finish that,
archaeologist.
will you take a look at the pump?
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wire.
The wiring. Okay. Unplug it.
I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug.
Which is like zero knowledge, right?
Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
Look, I gotta be going.
Okay, what if we look outside? What's this thing?
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Wait, let me listen again what he says.
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
The wiring. Okay, the wiring. What does that give me? I don't have anything that can fix it. Do I?
Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
May I borrow this towel?
Sure you can, on one condition.
What's that?
You keep it away from old Ron.
Who's Ron?
That's him in the corner, with the hygiene problem.
Look, I gotta be going.
Alright, I don't know.
Hello again.
What if I... Oh?
Ah, so you're making snares to trap rabbits.
That's right. Do you have a problem with that?
Damn right I do. Isn't it painful?
Only if I get me fingers caught.
I'm talking about the rabbits. Do they feel much pain?
You bet.
Family-friendly content right there.
I'll see you later.
What if we show him the towel?
Could you use this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much use for anything else.
I'll see you later. I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Oh, wait, what? It's a QTE, isn't it? When he has a coughing fit, he accidentally drops the wiring. Isn't he? He's gonna drink and... Pick it up, pick it up!
As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed his piece of wire.
God damn it, this game was so ahead of its time.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
Nah,
Look,
let's
I
not
gotta be
talk to
going.
him.
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
Right.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Alright. Oh, that's pretty dark. Let's look for that flashlight. Those rats look very hygienic.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Well, what do you know? Ah, this is just upstairs. Okay, no, let's go. I wonder what did that switch to? Not much is the answer, huh?
Pushing with all my strength got me nowhere. They didn't budge. I really need to start working out.
Yeah. What if we flip the switch and it changed something here? Which would be really weird. I don't see anything changing here.
I reached into the sack, but it... Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Look, I gotta...
Okay. Maybe we...
Hey! Hello there again, mister. Bye for...
Can you flip it again?
I pulled the lever and the bolt creaked back into place.
Yeah, but what? Creaked back into place.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
There's got to be something, right? Oh, obviously this didn't work. You attempted to open something earlier, but it said it was locked from the inside. Wait, are you kidding me? That place? Why would it be connected? Imagine the complexity of the mechanism.
I tried in vain.
Ah, okay. Thank you for the hint. Okay. This thing?
It was impossible to return.
Ah, maybe this?
I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked
Okay.
down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Oh.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera.
Wait, that's
It
the
was
killer.
gone. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
He sounds like a nice guy.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily.
Alright, let's pick it up.
Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
Come on, pick it up already.
It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way, you're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Right. Let's take a look around, shall we?
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Okay, rusty-colored water. Should we wash it? I figured as much. Should we wash this? Should we do this? Maybe this? And now we can give it to that guy, probably.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Yeah, sure.
It was a rectangle of toweling printed with the words, Nagopaline Stout builds body. The towel was soaked through with water.
Yeah, but why would we do this?
Hello again.
What?
Could you use this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much use for anything else.
Maybe show it
Do
to
you
the
recognize
bartender?
I'll...
Let's show it to the bartender.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
May I borrow this towel?
You can keep it.
Look,
Okay, I am not entirely sure. Let's see if we can do something with all this stuff, in that super duper secretive place. Obviously. Right.
A trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Okay. Wait, examine it.
The plaster cast was a pretty neat replica of the back of the stone, complete with protruding fingers.
Right, and now I guess we should be able to do something like this, maybe?
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Alright, entering the evil crypt. Nothing too suspicious going on out here. Right. What about you? What you gonna do? What do we have? Photograph. Can we combine
no.
these two? No. Zombies jump up and eat you. Yeah.
I had no reason to go out into the night.
Wait, her voice changed again. God damn it. This lady is so inconsistent. Every day she's like standing 5 centimeters more away from the mic. Can you at least give me a commentary? What the fuck do you want me to do? What? There must be something you want me to do, right?
I had no reason to...
No reason, okay. I don't know. Maybe you need to call someone?
I had messages waiting to be played.
Oh, let's go.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slonsha. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my god. Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die.
Right.
I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late. I unhooked the first wire.
This doesn't look good.
I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
Props to the engineer, then. Let's push it with an actual elephant. Damn it, that didn't work. Fuck, I gotta leave soon to work. Well, that happens to many of us these days.
Locked? No way was I going to break through a door like that. The intercom system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire.
Cut the wire? Can people in this city, like, relax for a second? Well, it's standing upright. What else can we do? We cannot push it with an actual elephant. What else can we do? Ah, we can collapse it. Oh, okay.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
Sure.
That broken window looked like the best way in.
Yeah, so go.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
Hit it with this thing?
No.
Use the elephant? No. This thing?
No.
This?
No.
No. No. Okay, I am confused. Maybe we need to find something else? Probably.
Now I'd got this far, I wasn't giving up.
Okay,
The plastic sheet was thick and...
a card?
No.
What the hell? What else can I do? There's nothing else for... I cannot return. I don't think this would usually work, though. But whatever. So long as we get to progress. Guess it depends on how thick the plastic is and how sharp this thing is, but it's usually not sharp at all. Even if you, like, squish it like this. Anyway, let's find the murderer.
My God, I'm too late.
You better fucking leave this place, lady.
Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be alright.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. Absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me.
What?
Lied to me. Used me. But why?
This part feels kind of forced, but I don't know. Let's tamper with the
Even
evidence.
in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace.
Sure, this will definitely
I
not leave a
opened it.
trace.
Inside was a tiny gold key. I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
I gotta say though, her parts feel super linear. Damn, we like. Yeah, we're going to jail after this. As a murder suspect. Hey, lady. Lady. Stand up, please.
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
Okay, we found the key though. Ah, is it really to the box? It's probably to the box.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid.
Yeah, I get it. I tried this so many times.
I took out the key.
Boobs? Why boobs?
I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
What the what?
Hotel St. Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you're really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a phony job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. It was a photograph of Imelda. I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning, while behind them a village was being razed to the ground, its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. I stared at my father's image, looked deep into his eyes. What was he thinking when this picture was taken? How brave he had been. I missed him so much. He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
Alright, see you guys later off to work. Safe road. Next morning.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templar's gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Right.
Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Right.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. A knight with a crystal ball. The Knight Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom.
Right, so I'm guessing... Hey, how do you...
But I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobinor at the Kron Museum.
Yeah.
And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Okay, let's go.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
Damn, so much hatred for the journalism. Let's go for the museum first, I think. Now that we have the gem. But then again, what's the point? Guess I can place the gem on this thing. What's this?
Pardon
we
me.
talk?
Oui, monsieur?
Alright, a lot more options.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on. Can you give me any further information?
Certainly.
Yeah, we talked to them about this
What's
already.
the importance? Do you don't?
Yeah, we talked this.
Can I?
What?
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
I don't think we should be showing the map to him, though.
Thanks for your help.
Alright, let's talk to the inspector, because I'm kind of lost here. Oh.
Come in.
Hello, George. What are your plans?
I want to find out who. All I've got to go.
Right.
Okay, shopping.
Yeah. Going through the same dialogue. Alright, go to the police office. Oh, but the guy is not here. Okay, maybe we should show him the thing. I don't know at this point.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Okay.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantau.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but...
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
Yeah, just go home and enjoy your vacation. What's your problem?
Called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic, in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur.
He also calls himself Thomas Merlin.
I'm sorry, Monsieur Stobart. I don't know him. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. See you later, Sergeant.
I don't know. Wait, can we visit it now? Okay, the story keeps moving. I keep discovering shit accidentally.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Okay. Hello, Doctor.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
I think I ought to warn you that Marquet is not what he seems.
Explain yourself.
He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms.
Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are?
Certainly not.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah. We just leave.
Excuse me.
Leave tracks left and right, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
Wow, this lady gets a lot of leeway. Like, a lot.
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
No, I'm conducting a private investigation.
Then I can't help you.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Oh.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Why would he, though?
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Right.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin.
Well, this is
Marquet's
fucking loud.
been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here.
Oh, this is loud.
Let me see.
What's the jump in the volume?
He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's... Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well-disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock, alarm call. 6:10, bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna, and turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Well, let's talk to him, shall we?
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't, but I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Come on, you just figured it out?
Don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind me back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull-through.
This guy has a UK Birmingham accent. What he's doing in Paris, I don't know.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Right. I guess we'll have to do something about this thing.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now. Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Right, so I'm guessing we have to distract him somehow. Probably we have to turn off
As I
this
tugged
thing.
the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Oh, that was fast.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
And now we should be able to enter the room. Probably. Yeah? Bro? Bro? I cannot control him. Come on. Oh, like this. That's okay.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
I don't know, do these... Like, do they have that many doctors? Like, usually those people would be able to recognize each other. Maybe
Do you have
I'm
any
just...
clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Okay,
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
I don't know.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
How come I don't know this?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Wouldn't she be like... Wouldn't she be like...
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
I don't know.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
I'll come back later.
Right.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Maybe we should return it to her? Okay, we need to think. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk to him again and just exhaust the item options.
Hi, it's me again.
It's me again.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor.
Yeah, but what's the point, though? We've already done it.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing...
Yeah.
I'll come back.
Okay, what are we missing?
Hey, I asked you not to go in there.
I know, but I'm curious.
Oh no, I'm responsible for that cupboard and the contents.
Okay.
I love it how they're super chill, you know?
Oh, hi! No whistling, right?
Right. Are you having trouble with Mr. Shiny?
Yes, I am. I don't know what's got into him today. He keeps pulling his plug.
See you later.
Right.
Yeah, take care now.
What else can I do? I think any of these items will be useful here. We tried the card already.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur.
Oh, wait, what if...
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No.
Thank you, nurse.
Oh.
Okay, maybe there's something this way. What did he say?
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
Huh? I did it 3 times already. What? What?
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
I'm so confused right now. Do we need to look for the other doctor?
Oh, what? You didn't...
What? But I exhausted the dialogue options. Okay,
let's try again.
You don't have the first idea.
I'll come back when you've recovered your... Hi.
Okay, let's
Have you
just
ever heard of
exhaust
the Club
everything.
Element?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No,
Of course it doesn't.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, Doctor.
Someone else.
I'll come back.
Alright, thank you for the hints. Let's see. Someone else. Oh, wait, I can go there back? Who's this guy? No! Ah! I mean, talk to him. What is going on here? I guess the... Just
Hi,
talk to the
my
guy.
name is George Stobart.
Yes, sir? Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
Right.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
Right, now we have to ask him to do the thing, right?
See you later.
Right.
Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Keep it safe until I... See you later.
Right.
Interesting. How can we send him there?
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him? He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Alright, I'm gonna show you some real suffering.
Hi, it's me again.
Oh.
I'll come back.
Wait, what if we just try to go there and he asks us, and then this guy will do
You
it?
haven't finished taking my...
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood.
I have to see Jacques Mar...
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder. Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on the guy.
Use it on Eric Sub.
Oh, literally. Literally. Ah, yeah. Move, 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 move. You gotta move. Wait, there's the guard that...
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
What's an humbug?
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
He has what?
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, doc.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
Come on.
As a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter.
But if you're so aware who's
locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Hello, Georges.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
It's the assassin, bro.
Marquis said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
Damn. The prejudice this game has.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Alright, let's go for the tripod, I guess.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one? Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Okay, where do we go now? Go to the oh, he's not here. Okay, maybe museum? Wait, who's this guy?
I beg your pardon. Are you André Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
Whoa, that's a lot of questions.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
All right.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochmarn tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes. It was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes. They gave a new word to our language. Assassini. The assassins.
All right.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin. But there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Alright, should we show him the map or not? Let's show him.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
All right.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
All right.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
We know where to go now. Oh, not here though.
Hello, Georges. Oh, by the way, I had a visit from Andre Lobineau.
What?
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again.
How is this possible logistics-wise?
In the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the Knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a woman looking at her, but the reflect...
That's like beyond fast.
There's a guy
fucking
working on a
teleported.
Between...
Who needs the treasure of Templars when you can fucking teleport?
Knight with a crystal ball. The Night Scroll. Through my teachings... But...
Wait.
I'd better get back to the quest.
Okay, back to the quest then. Mon façon.
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Yeah, imagine someone approaching you just like that.
Excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Yeah, he was really bored.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
Alright, let's take a look around. Oh, finally, my time to shine. Guess what? We'll probably have to distract this guy again.
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
Yeah. That's why I was carrying this fucking thing around all the way to Ireland with me.
Hey, leave that.
I knew it.
Sorry,
No.
You stay.
Okay, okay, let's distract him somehow.
I didn't have time to sit around.
Well, if you say so.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
Oh, good for you.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Okay. You want to know what you're getting out of it? Well, I have no idea. Ah, so it's like the same, right. Oh, roads lead to Rome, I suppose. Yeah, but what am I supposed to do, though?
Somehow, it looked more modern than its neighbor. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
Right. Oh, what's over here?
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Let's talk to the officer again. Maybe there's something I missed. We probably have to lure him here somehow.
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Look at this gem.
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
Of course you're mad, bro.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is? Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knightly Order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Okay.
Somehow.
What else can we do? Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it.
Well, that's wonderful. Blood pressure. Damn it. Who would have thunk?
I didn't.
Remember when you were solving something too early yesterday? Oh, so I should go back to the museum? Alright, let's go back if we can. Again, thanks for the hint. Do we just wait for this guy to turn around and... But then again, now there's this guy here. Is this really the way to go? And then we hide in the sarcophagus? Or maybe move this thing? Depends.
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Monsieur.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
Okay. What do we do now? I guess this is where this thing comes into play.
What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
What the hell? This has to be like... the stupidest...
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. But how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Wait. Not at the manuscript. At the tripod. Ah. Okay.
I'd better get back to the...
No, just interact with the...
It was a simple but elegant tripod made of metal, with traces of colored enamel still visible in places.
Right. Oh, things have changed. Interesting. Hello.
Hey, you with the balls.
Damn, this guy got some balls.
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders. Plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so.
How can you be so disrespectful, bro? Bro, that's like...
That juggling
Fuck.
doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
Be my guest, sure. Wait, what?
I had no idea what I was doing.
You're a fucking idiot!
This guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be?
No, you're the idiot! What the fuck?
A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big
You
chance to
unmannered
do right
fucking
by
prick!
strangers.
Goodness
Not so
gracious!
easy after all, is it?
Oh.
No, I guess not.
Okay, I don't know. What the hell are we supposed to do with them?
I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
Yeah, being a dickhead like this, you'd get fucking destroyed by these kids. Maybe it's finally time to use the nose? But why the fuck would I need to use it?
Hi again.
See, I have this nose over here.
Oui? What is it this time?
Look, a red nose.
Look, a red nose!
A clown?
No. If so, you would be a much better jongleur.
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah,
Imagine, you're a fucking jongleur, and a random guy approaches you when you're performing to earn your share for the
Well
day.
educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Look,
No.
A hint.
It's so
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight, but fell down the pot.
Catch.
Au revoir.
Well, you mean I have to impersonate the... Huh? Maybe give it to this guy?
Excuse me, officer. Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing, and not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Whoever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point.
So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur, you have it.
Alright.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Okay.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Right. Now George has the idea in his head from the policeman, the red-nosed thing you tried my wig this time. Oh! But there's also like a dude standing there.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
Well, obviously it didn't work.
The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Yeah, but what about the crowd? They're not leaving. Or does it matter? Yeah, looks like the crowd doesn't care. But what about the cathedral? Alright,
The hook lay in a bed of chain.
Okay, sure.
The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence.
What's over there?
I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked. Rats! It's locked. If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, I was going to have to get onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, I could have jumped it easily.
Right. So I can move it up or down. Or whatever good that does me.
It was the bright red ball I'd got from the juggler.
Bright red ball, sure. I don't think it's gonna work, but obviously. Let's go and see what's going on in the cathedral.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
No way.
Measure his blood pressure.
What do you think of this?
A pressure sleeve and valve? What should I think?
Never mind. Catch you later.
Au revoir.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack.
Right.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. I could see per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Sounds pretty familiar to me.
Yeah, it does. Do I need a... Can I try it? No?
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
Right. Yeah, I don't have any idea. Let's think about it again. Maybe we should just exhaust more options.
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Ah, yeah.
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum meum lux videbus means?
Let me see. That would be, by my teachings, you will see the light. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
I've got a medieval tripod.
He's like, whatever. Or actually, he's surprised.
How about this for a gem?
It is very beautiful, monsieur. And yet, I feel that there is an air of suffering about it.
I've got a red nose.
Oui, so you have.
I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
I have here a sewer key.
Ah, oui?
Catch you later.
Au revoir.
Okay, what about this crowd, though? Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
I had no desire to talk to them.
Yeah, the crowd is, like, literally just watching me go in and out like an idiot.
The wall I wondered why.
You wondered why. Sure. Ah. Okay, maybe...
It was time for some brutal destruction.
Really? Okay.
I poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
Right. What if we... No? What if we pick up this thing? And then connected it... Ah, alright. And then you do the spin move. The boat would probably sink, eh? Ah, if you say so. Okay, now we're inside whatever this place is.
Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
Indeed you have.
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors...
Hold on. These are the Templars?
Must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists
are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence!
Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results. Not petty bickering. Not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present. Ha! But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
You didn't have to explain this.
Was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow. Wow, these guys just want to be a bunch of princesses? Alright, that was a bad joke. Anyway, you mean... Jesus, this director's cut just does everything for you. What's the difference? Yeah, of course I recognize the professor. I even showed him the manuscript, which makes this situation even more funny. Because he probably would have just killed me on the spot, like, for it. Anyway. Non omnis moria clario e tenebris. I think I know exactly what I need to do here. Just...
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump. There was a large circle marked out on the floor with a stump in the middle. Around the circle I could see words inlaid into the stone. On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases, non omnis moriar and clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness.
Yeah, probably this thing.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B, Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Probably the name of the city somewhere, maybe in Syria or
Nico,
whatever.
I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria, but they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Oh.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay, what about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Damn. Looks like I used the thing correctly, eh? Will, is Ari out there? Or did you abandon my stream because you have some other stuff to do? Right, so, still here. So what's the difference, between, the sewer segment in the director's cut and the version that you played?
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
Alright, well. Marib! Let's go.
Hey there, young fella. Speaky you the English?
Oh my god.
Speaker you the Anglaise? Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, si, and indeed oui, and rather better than you by the sound of it. My name is Nijo. Welcome to my grand emporium of quality merchandise.
It just extra little things for you. That bit with the chain and the bow was like 3 or 4 steps, but this version just did it all in one. Ah, I see.
So, this is your stand?
Oh, yes, sir. Though stand does not begin to do it justice. The finest in this bustling metropolis.
This is a bustling metropolis?
Well, not per se, no.
How much are those books there on the shelf?
Have you any Syrian pounds?
I think I might have a couple of Irish pund.
Then they're too expensive for you, sir.
You speak very good English.
Thank you, sir. I learned from tapes that my uncle procured.
Oh, a language course.
No, sir. Jeeves and Wooster. Gussie, Pink Noto, Aunt Agatha. What ho?
Does the word Templar mean anything to you?
Templar. Ah, Templar. Templar! Why, yes, of course!
It does?
Yes! A splendid series of books by Mr. Leslie Chatteris, featuring the roguish Mr. Simon Templar.
Great! That's a real help, Nijo. Anything else?
The Saint television program, featuring Mr. Roger Moore of the quizzical eyebrow. And a stick man with a halo. Bing!
So all Templar means to you is Roger Moore?
I only watched it for the stick man with the halo. Bing! He was better animated.
So I'm correct in saying that the word Templar doesn't mean much to you?
Well, there was the Order of Knights who were wiped out in an Inquisition in 1312, I suppose.
That's them. What else do you know?
Just how much information do you think there is on a Trivial Pursuit card?
A what?
From the medieval edition. We had it on the stand a couple of years ago. Ask me what a feuter is. Go on. I know all this stuff.
Never mind. Okay, forget about the Templars for a minute. What do you know about knights?
Like the Crusaders, they came to the East on an insane and pointless mission. They sacrificed thousands of lives, including their own, for insensate pride. How anyone can find them romantic confounds me.
Alright, have to measure
What
his
can I
blood
do with a
pressure.
blood pressure gauge?
Don't tempt me to tell you, sir.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle peep, sir.
Wait, what?
As I didn't see the point of going all the way over there to get scratched, I stayed where I was.
Oh, interesting. What if we try something like this? And then summon the guy, and the cat jumps. Or it does not.
As I didn't see the...
Wait, it doesn't return to its default location for some reason. Oh well.
Hi, I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, sure, son. Always got time for a fellow American. The name's Henderson. Dwayne Henderson.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Henderson.
Hell, boy. I'm not in the office. Call me Dwayne.
Oh, okay. Dwayne? My name's George Stobart.
Whoa, that's a lot of things we can discuss with him.
I saw a medieval picture of a woman. Royalty or nobility, something like that. She was looking in a mirror, but the reflection was of a man with 3 faces. What do you think of that?
I think you should be in therapy.
Do you think bulls have any significance around here?
Weird question, George. Nope, I don't think they have.
Do you mind if I ask you an odd question?
Okay, but I might not answer it.
Do you know anything about the Templars?
The Knights Templar?
Yep.
Nope. Nothing at all.
Well, you knew they were an order of knights.
What I know and what I say are 2 different things, boy. I haven't lasted as long as I have in this business without knowing that.
In this business?
Sure. The greetings card business.
Oh, please. Does the image of a knight holding a crystal ball mean anything to you?
Hell no. What would a knight want with a hunk of glass?
I don't know. That's the problem.
What's wrong, boy?
It's not a crystal ball. It all came together in my head. What the conspirators had mentioned losing. The strange perspective of the manuscript. It's a lens.
Sure.
Have you talked to Nijo?
Nijo? He's the youngster on that junk stand, right? Yeah, we've met him. He's a smart kid. Speaks 4 languages, and he's never had a day's formal education. He should go far. Kept trying to peddle garbage on us, though.
You're not gonna find much worthwhile around here.
I know that, and you know that. But try telling Pearl. She reckons there's antiquities in them door stands.
Do you know the name Merlin?
Nope.
You're a long way from home, Dwayne.
Could say the same about you, George.
Me? Well, I'm just sightseeing, that's all.
Without a camera? Kinda lax to come all this way and not take pictures. Mind if I take a picture of you, George?
What? Why? Ow! You could have warned me.
You don't mind, do you, George? The folks back home will be real interested.
Aw.
Where is your wife, Dwayne?
Pearl? Oh, she's around, looking for bargains.
How long have you been married, Dwayne?
Hell, must be 30 years now.
Damn, this guy's like, what, 50 at the very least?
What exactly do you do, Dwayne?
Didn't I say? Oh, I run a greeting card company. Yep, we're based in Cleveland, Ohio. Pearl writes the poems for him. You ought to ask her to recite some.
Alright, guess that's basically it, huh?
Okay, well, I'll see you around, Dwayne.
Count on it, George.
Hello. I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, hi there, handsome.
What can I do for you?
Wait,
Hi,
she looks
my name's George. I was just...
Well, it certainly is delightful to meet you, George.
I was...
My name's Mrs. Henderson, but you can call me Pearl, I'm sure.
Okay, Pearl. I was...
So nice to meet a friendly American face so far from home.
Pearl?
Yes, dear?
I was just wondering if you could help me.
Why, sure, precious.
Have you ever heard of a group of knights called the Templars?
Sounds familiar. I remember. Dwayne had a book. The Holy Something and the Holy Something Else, I can't quite recall. I read a little of it.
And?
Seemed like a lot of hooey to me.
I've been talking to your husband, Dwayne.
Oh.
Yeah, he tells me that he runs a greeting card company and you write the poems that go in them.
Oh, yes, indeed. I consider myself the artiste of the family. Tell me, George, would you like to hear one of my poems?
Yes, go on then.
Okay then, darling, here we go. Our sympathy upon this time, when your heart doth break.
I like the doth.
Classy, isn't it? We know the grief that must entail when your schnauzer gets bitten by a snake. Ah, it still touches me. What do you think, George?
It's very specific, isn't it?
You think so? We sell a lot of those, dear.
Okay.
So, tell me a little about yourself, Pearl.
Me? Oh, a gentleman's interest is always so flattering. Well, my husband and I run a greetings card company in a cute little place called Akron in Ohio.
Akron? Cute? Little?
Okay.
Have you talked to the boy on the bric-a-brac stand?
Oh, you've met him? His name's Nejo, you know. Oh, he's just so cute, I could die. I'd love to bundle him up and take him back to Ohio.
He might not thank you.
I'm looking for something ancient, you know. Something to impress the folks back home. The poor boy was trying to do his best, but we still haven't found anything.
You said that your company is based in Akron.
And Dwayne said it's in Cleveland, no doubt.
Well, yes, he did.
Dwayne was in the Marines in Vietnam, you know. Anyway, he got a medical discharge. Thing is, he gets confused. We moved away from Cleveland 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
He also gets a little paranoid. Thinks he's a spy or something.
I'm so sorry, Pearl.
Don't worry yourself, George. We live with it.
Do you know anything about medieval weaving?
I do a little needlework, but gosh.
It's okay. It was a long shot. What does this mean to you?
Gosh, is this some sort of psychological test?
No.
Oh, well in that case it's a red ball.
I've got to go now, Pearl.
It's been a pleasure, George. Don't be a stranger.
Oh wait, we can talk
How
to
did this guy make a living selling useless old machine parts in the middle of nowhere? He didn't have anything that I...
Okay. Damn, this game has a lot of
Going out into
characters.
the countryside was a pretty good way to get lost.
Okay, what's this?
The stand had kebabs dangling from the canopy. As a marketing device, it lacked something. Hi, what's your name, sir?
Hello, you buy kebab. Moscow.
I recognize this face. We had a police officer that had a similar face. Interesting. But, I got nothing to offer him, though.
I'd value your opinion on this, sir.
Nah, you buy kebab. None?
Alright, no kebab then.
Well, goodbye. Have a nice day.
Most good.
Muruba! Hello there!
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Ah! Give to me! Give to me! Allah mut!
Huh? Okay.
Many beneficent greetings, my most fortunate possible friend.
Huh? Do I know you, mister?
No. No. And again I say, no. But, my friend, do you not see our mutual good fortune in this meeting?
How frank do you want me to be?
You are a traveler, yes?
Boy, you must be the world's greatest detective.
No. I am told that is Sherlock Holmes of the big forehead and slipper full of shag. I, as contrast, am world's greatest luxury taxi driver.
I can see where this is going.
I am Ultar, taxi driver and
This I had to hear.
Where does your heart desire to go? Simply mention the name to your obedient servant and we shall fly there, swift as the eagle.
Oh, well, I don't really want to leave Marib yet, but I'm sure that if I do, you'll be the first to know.
Is good. You know where you want to go, you come to Ultar.
Thanks. See you around, Ultar.
Be having a pleasant day, full of shining experiences and happiness, my friend.
Right.
Hi. Nice club you've got here. I was wondering if you could help me. What? I mean, I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
No surprise there, all righty. He says sorry, but he not speak English.
But he didn't say anything.
He not have tongue.
No tongue? What happened?
It was bet.
And he lost.
He won. You should see other chappie. Oh, yes.
Alright, let's take a look around.
I hadn't felt a need to spit since I was 12. Hello again, Ultar.
Praise be to Allah. I am blessed with your bountiful presence once more.
Whoa.
This place is certainly hard to find.
Oh, yes, it is most exclusive. The membership can be no more than... Kind sir, what would you guess the population of the village to be?
Gee, I don't know, a couple of thousand?
Then I would estimate the membership to be no more than a couple of thousand.
Okay.
What do you make of that boy in the market, Nejo?
Nejo? Ha! Ayub's boy is too big for sandals. I speak splendid English and he laugh. He say, Ultar, you big ox, you split infinitive. I say, I split your head if you stay still long enough.
Yeah, that's funny.
Pretty funny, yes?
Hilarious.
Super funny.
You should be on cable. What do you know about the kebab seller?
A most miserable man. Ultar say, cheery up, matey mate, it might never happen. And he say, shut up, Ultar.
Fancy that.
Not at all. Arto has face like the drizzle that falls on the midweek afternoon, whatever that is.
Have you met the American couple?
Have Ultar met them? Have Ultar met them? Yes, Ultar have met them.
And?
They most ungenerous. Ultar offer to show them wonders of countryside. They say, is there anything ancient? Ultar say, yes, of course. Nature is ancient. They say, no, anything ancient made by men. And Ultar say, have you seen Taxi? Fan belt older than Ozymandias. Ha 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 ha! But they gone.
Do you know anything about the Templars?
Of course.
Yes? What can you tell me?
Great she-bop band of the 60s.
No, that's not really...
Who put the bop in the bop, 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 bop?
Yeah, eternal questions.
Okay. I don't think we should be sure.
Have you seen this man before?
Oh, most certainly. Was here only yesterday.
Here? Yesterday? My God, he's close.
Yes, he was asking a lot of questions, just like you.
What did he ask about?
He asked about American called Stoby.
Stobart?
Yes, Stobart. You know him.
The killer knew my name. What else did he ask about?
He asked about German man called Klobner.
I tried to remember the name of the man the conspiracy had lost in Syria. Was his name Klausner?
Sure, that is what Ultar said. Klausner. I told this man in the picture, Klausner wanted to go up to Bull's Head.
Hold on, he wanted to go where?
Bull's Head. Big hill, 10 mile out of town. Maybe 60.
When was that?
Oh, maybe a week ago.
Right.
What can you tell me about this Bull's Head Hill?
It's most magnificent. Lovely views. Worth visiting. Yes, by indeedity.
How do I get there? No. Let me guess.
You need fine luxury guide to take you there in air-conditioned taxi.
Woe is me. Where can I find such a guide?
And Ultar is most luxurious guide for most literally some way, in any direction.
Gee willikers, lucky old me.
Are you desirous of my pleasant and luxuriant service?
All
Sure.
right, let's go.
First, I regret the formalities. A trip to the Bull's Head... 50 Yankee dollars, please.
$50? I don't have $50.
Bro!
Oh, most unhappy event. Ultar then sorry, but he cannot take you on ride of lifetime.
Hold on, Ultar. Is there nothing I could barter with you?
Word that it was so, beloved friend. But my taxi needs gas, and its muffler needs the muffler doctor. Trading for these things is not possible. My heart weeps for the injustice, but it's bucks or zip, or unfortunate American.
Well, I still don't have any cash on me, American or otherwise.
Oh, unfortunate.
Bro, you're on a fucking vacation. You don't have $50? Are you
The
kidding
likes
me?
of the Bull's Head Hill then must wait, I fear.
I don't know. Were you fucking brought to Syria by slave trade airlines or something? What the fuck, bro?
Well, I still don't have any cash on me, American or otherwise.
Yeah, I get it. I guess we need to get the cash somehow. Would you like... Nah, he doesn't want to
May
barter.
good fortune follow you, mister.
Even if I'd wanted to spit, my mouth was too dry. Damn, the door's locked. I'm sorry? Did you say something?
He say you not to go in toilet. Read sign, matey.
Matey?
It lose something in translation.
Wait, what? Hey, can you lend me $50 maybe?
Hello again, Pearl.
Why, hello, Joe.
Have you met the taxi man, Ultar?
Heavens, yes. What a big man.
How? They all have this fucking handkerchief or what?
For a ride.
Why, George, you're absolutely the most...
Oh, you mean a taxi ride? No, Dwayne wasn't interested, so it didn't happen.
Right.
Have you ever heard of a hill called the Bull's Head?
No. No, I haven't. Is it nearby?
I'm not sure.
Sounds awful romantic. The Bull's Head Hill.
What do you think of this?
Oh, looks scientific. It's a blood pressure thing, isn't it?
I've got to go now, Pearl.
It's been a pleasure, George.
Okay, I don't know. Wait, what's this
Stan was
thing?
hawking ancient machine parts. How did this guy make a living selling useless...
What's this on the table anyway? Yeah, I don't know. What about the boy?
Hi, Nijo.
Hello again, sir. And how may I help you this time?
What the fuck?
Is that your father lurking in the back of the stand?
He is indeed a roaring fellow. Ayub's his name.
You don't sound like you respect him very much.
Don't I? Not only do I respect him, I rather like him. For all his bluster, we get on very well.
Who's the guy selling the kebabs?
Oh, that's Arto. A miserable blighter to be sure, sir.
He doesn't seem very happy.
He never is. Day in, day out, a face like a wet Wednesday. Whatever one of those is.
Does he speak any English?
Not cogently, no.
Okay.
What do you know about that couple?
Oh, they're American.
Is that all?
The chap's a little odd. As for the lady, it's a funny thing. But I get the impression she's a lot cleverer than she's letting on.
I met an interesting guy earlier, a cab driver.
Ah, that would have to be Utar, a barbaric sort of chap.
Oh, he's not that bad.
You know how he speaks in Pidgin English? That's how he speaks in Arabic.
He even knows the word pigeon? Fucking hell.
That's not a very friendly cat you got there, Nijo.
No, sir. It is a very unfriendly cat.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not mine. It just rests where it pleases. And today it pleases to rest there. As Kipling would say, it is a cat that walks by itself.
Fiercely independent.
And it smells.
Let's see.
Look at this. A lifting key as used by Parisian sewer workers.
Kalu Kalay, sir. I must remember this day for posterity. My grandchildren will be fascinated.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, eh?
Oh, sir, what a splendid plaything. One day, when I am rich, I am going to build a world-renowned collection of brightly colored balls.
Are you serious?
In deadly earnest. People will come from far and wide to see my...
Yes?
...collection. The Rockefellers and the Gettys can keep their hoards of so-called fine art. But answer me this. What good is a Picasso, I ask you, if you cannot bounce it off a wall?
You may have a point.
Right. Well, I am stuck.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle peep, sir.
What else can we do? This cat thing, I don't know. Is it important? What if... And then we bounce it off a wall. Damn it. Still enjoying it despite its flaws. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I definitely would have dropped this game if I didn't want to see how it ends. What's that way?
I figured going out into the countryside was a pretty good way to get lost.
Right. I don't know. Bro, do you have 50 bucks?
Hi there, Dwayne.
Hi there, George.
Have you met Ultar?
Almost luxurious air-conditioned taxi ride, mister.
Yeah,
He tried to pull a bunco on us. Take us on a wild goose chase off into nowhere.
Look, I've got some plaster of Paris.
Yeah, and I've got a picture of me shaking hands with George Bush. Of course, that was back in '76.
What do you think of this?
It's a ball. Big deal.
Have you ever heard of a hill called the Bull's Head?
Can't say as I have. Where's that?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out.
Bull's Head, huh? I must remember that. Sounds scenic.
Okay, well, I'll see you around, Dwayne.
Count on it, George.
Alright, any hints? Like, I need a hint. Or maybe I should just open the walkthrough and quickly find out what the hell is going on. Let me just scroll it. I beat this, and... Oh, there it is. Try and speak to the manager behind the bar, and Otar will speak for him. Click on Otar again to an exhaustive conversation. Show Otar the photograph. Okay. Leave the club and head downstairs and click on R2, the kebab seller, and see that he's using the toilet. What? The fuck? How was I supposed to figure this out?
Hello again, sir.
Hello. Kebab? Yes?
Wait, I clicked on it, but I don't see any toilet brushes.
In the still air, the smell hung around like bad smells do. In the still air.
Wait, leave the club, head downstairs, click on R2.
Hello again.
Okay.
Well,
Speak to Nijo, the boy at the merchant stall on the left of the market square, and give him the red ball. What? I already tried the red ball on him. Is there more?
I need... Hello? Seriously, do you really think this thing's so great?
Take it away, you tempter.
I'll swap it for something off your stand.
Due to seasonal financial considerations, I'm afraid I cannot.
I thought you wanted this thing.
I do, sir. This stand doesn't.
Which in translation meant it's not really my stand, and I'll be in big trouble if I swap anything for something that I want myself.
Alternatively, is there any service that you require?
Not at the moment, but I'll bear it in mind.
But I used the ball. Whatever.
That's not a very friendly cat you got there, Nijo.
No, sir. It is a very unfriendly cat.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not mine. It just rests where it pleases. And today, it pleases to rest there. As Kipling would say, it is a cat that walks by itself.
Fiercely independent.
And it smells.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle peep, sir.
The merchant was selling fruit. I decided I might have some later.
Good for you.
In the still air. Hello again, sir.
Hello.
Well?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. What's this?
The carpet seller had an impressive collection of wares. If I had the time and the money, I might have bought a couple of rugs.
Yeah.
Hi, Nijo.
Hello again, sir.
All right,
Seriously,
again.
do you really take this plat?
Really?
So long, Nate.
Poodle.
Otar is a talkative fellow, but what should I do next? That's my fucking question. Hint 1. Examine the notice on the toilet door and talk to... Okay. Let's discuss the lavatory, shall we?
Hello again, Ultar.
Praise be to Allah. I am blessed with your bountiful presence once more.
Could you tell me what that sign means?
It's a door stay shut until brush come back. Signed, the management.
Oh, well, what does that mean?
Manager buy lovely new toilet brush, leaves it by wash basin for 10 minutes, come back, it been stolen. Not even out of wrapper. He damn cross. Lock up toilet and say, Nobody use fine, pristine toilet until brush given back. We say, what we do till then, eh? He say, cross legs and use superior willpower.
And that's what you've been doing?
No. Ultar use bucket.
Alright.
Ultar.
May good fortune follow you, mister.
Now we understand. Now it finally makes sense. Why would I click on... Then again, it doesn't. Fucking...
Suddenly, I realized the horrific truth. The guy was basting the kebabs with a toilet brush.
God damn it. That's just...
Well, hello. Well,
yeah, I don't know. With the toilet brush, it's like... Fuck.
In the still...
That's very unappetizing. Very, very unappetizing.
Hi, Nijo.
Hello again, sir. And how may I help you this time?
Look, this is going to sound a bit strange, but I need Arto's brush.
What? The brush he bastes the kebabs with?
Yes.
Let me find some dirty postcards for you instead.
Nijo, this is serious. Arto stole that brush he's using from a friend, and I want to get it back.
Perhaps I could help you, old chap. Maybe? Perhaps?
Maybe what? Perhaps what?
I do not wish to seem mercenary, sir, but I am a merchant, and merchants trade.
Merchant? This isn't Sears and Roebuck here.
Well, if you're going to be disagreeable...
No, you're right. What would you like?
I seem to recall that you have something that might alleviate my boredom. A globe of delight, a Rubicon spheroid of heavenly pleasure.
You mean the ball, don't you?
A tiny spherular form that barely spans my hand, yet promises hours of amusement.
If you mean the ball, why don't you just say so?
Can I have the ball back, mister?
All right, here you go.
Thank you, sir. People say bad things about Americans, but you're okay in my book.
What people? What bad things?
Never mind that now. Remember the brush?
Right, yes, the brush.
All you have to do with Arto is be polite. It lightens his day, makes it all worthwhile for him again.
How can I be polite to the guy when I can't speak a word of Syrian?
Arabic.
That's what I meant.
Simply memorize this phrase. Il ach il kalb.
Il ach il kalb.
Close enough. Now, go over to Arto and deliver those honeyed words even unto his delicate ear. He won't be able to do enough for you.
Really?
Really.
So long, Nijo.
I hope he's not shitting us.
Sir?
Hello again, sir.
Hello. Kebab? Yes?
Il akul kalb?
Filthy. Bad. I'll kill you.
Whoa, calm down. Feet, do your thing.
Wait, for real? Am I gonna die?
It must have taken him all morning just to set up his stall.
Yeah. So if I go back, he'll just kill me? You can't die in this version. And he's no longer angry? What? Okay, let me guess, we distracted him and he stole the brush.
What the heck did you tell me to tell him?
Patience, sir.
Patience? Patience? I've been chased by a homicidal kebab seller, and you expect me to be patient?
But consider, sir, while you were running from the irate Arto wasn't using the brush.
Hold on. Are you telling me that I've been used as a diversionary tactic?
Your brush, sir.
I can't believe that you put me on that kebab seller's death list for a toilet brush.
The ends justify the means, sir.
Yeah, but I noticed it wasn't your butt that was on the line, though.
They also serve who only stand and wait, sir.
Oh, spare me.
Why is it that I cannot...
Thanks for getting the brush and risking my life to do it.
Anytime. Glad to be of service.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle peep, sir.
It was a short-handled brush.
That's it. Okay. Alright, I got your brush. Now what?
Here's your brush, sir. It wasn't easy getting
I
it
still
back.
need $50 though.
The manager took the brush from me, gave me the toilet keys as my reward, and stomped off. What was all that about?
Manager, he say, bah, look at state of this. Need much cleaning in detergent before go around my, you bend.
He said all that?
Body language account for much, you know? Oh, yes, indeedy.
Well, obviously, we gotta peruse the sacred room.
I hadn't drunk anything since the morning, and I didn't need to use it.
Whoa.
Oops.
Yeah, but why the fuck would I need...
It was the short length of chain I'd taken from the toilet at the Club Alamut.
Huh? Oh, that's okay. Okay, I don't know. Let me think.
It was the key to the club toilet. It was the short length of chain.
Why would I need the chain? Can I put it back?
I knew the door was locked.
Come on. Okay, I think I'll call it a day here. Because I'm really stuck. I need to refresh this whole thought process. Yeah, I still don't have money for a taxi ride, like precisely my thoughts. Anyway, Potato07 is upon us. And I think we've made a lot of progress today. Like a lot. I still don't know how long this game is. Like, probably not that long. And again, you never know, huh? Anywho, enjoyed your company. I feel kind of tired. So yeah, see you tomorrow, around probably the same time. Got a few hours left at least. Ah, alright, got it. Alright, thank you for telling me. Anywho, I think I'll go and rest.